He's my guest now live. Sir, good morning and welcome back here to America's Newsroom. Saw your interview last night with Martha. You said you have additional questions. What are they?
Well, in the clip you just played, Mr. Kushner said he had no improper contacts with Russians and doesn't know of anyone else connected with the campaign. I'm going to take the word campaign out of that statement and ask the same question. Do you know of anyone who was not officially connected with the campaign that may have had any contact with the Russians? And if you did, what was the nature of that contact? There's firsthand knowledge and then there's secondhand knowledge. He testified he had no firsthand knowledge. We'll get into the secondary and tertiary context.
If you get satisfactory answers on that, does it end there or not?
Well, it may end for him. He's one witness out of 50 or 60 that we're going to talk to, and I'm interested in talking to him because I've heard a lot about him, and he doesn't say a whole lot publicly. So this is our chance, but more importantly, it's the chance of Democrats who have relied on anonymous leaks and selective quotes from classified information and prejudge the outcome. It's their opportunity. You got the witness right in front of you. You got something you want to ask Mr. Kushner? Ask him right now. Okay, so you read his 11-page explanation, right? I did, and I read senators, and he's going to give to House members. And you read also what? The 119 pages he turned over to the House last night. Okay, if you put those together, you talked about corroborating your story and not, you know, pick your own word, not contradicting previous statements. Have you found a contradiction, or has he corroborated what he has said in the past? I haven't found a contradiction. I have found some things that need further explanation, such as the submission of his security clearance form. He's offered an explanation for that. I think it's fair to go into that a little bit deeper. I think it's fair to ask, if you take the word campaign out of your quote, are you aware of anyone not officially connected with the campaign? But under the heading of corroboration, the meeting that Donald Trump Jr. had with a Russian lawyer, twice Jared Kushner said, hey, can you get me out of this meeting? That is corroboration for what he said, which is, I didn't remember the meeting, I didn't want to be there, and I didn't get anything out of it. Well, this was June. This is 13 months ago. I mean, is it possible he was just, or they were just naive? Because some have suggested that is the case because they've never been in a campaign like that before. Would that be a fair explanation for someone like you? A lack of familiarity with the political process is an explanation. What's an even better explanation, because I'm actually in that world too, is somebody invites you to a meeting, you just go because you may like the person that invited you, and about 30 seconds into the meeting you said, God, I wish I was anywhere other than here. I think that's what happened. His brother-in-law said, can you stop by a meeting? He said yes. And pretty early on, he thought, I'd rather be anywhere in the world than where I am right now. Hey, administrative assistant, can you get me out of here? That resonates. Well, I'm trying to figure out whether or not you're suspicious here or not. You don't sound like you are. Well, it almost sounds as if you're understanding his explanation, and that's okay with you. Is that a fair read? It is with respect to this witness, but keep in mind, Bill, I've never met or talked to this witness. I'll know more in 4 hours than I know now, but Mr. Kushner is one witness out of potentially 50 witnesses. So the fact that his name... So after you have the conversation today, come on back tomorrow, because I'd really like to get your impressions then. Another topic. Is Jeff Sessions in trouble? It doesn't look great. I haven't talked to him about it. The tweets are not helpful for long-term employment, but that's between he and the president. Yeah. Do you think that someone has screwed up here that would have led to the potential for his perhaps termination or resignation based on what we're trying to read between the lines, essentially? Well, Bill, I think a couple of things. I think Jeff Sessions made the right decision in recusing himself, and I also understand the president's frustration at the decisions and actions that Attorney General Sessions that led to him having to recuse himself. I mean, that's where my focus is. The president is frustrated that he picked an attorney general that had to recuse himself. The recusal was based on the attorney general's failure to recall some meetings. So that's what the recusal was based on. The recusal was appropriate, but I do understand the president's frustration. I wish you had told me this when you were interviewing for the job. Perhaps I would have picked someone else. That's not an unfair thing to muse about.
Would that have been an appropriate conversation at that
Sure.
time?
Absolutely. Is there any reason you know of that you should not take the job? Are there any limitations on your ability to take the job? All of us who have applied for jobs get asked that question. Is there anything in your background that I should know about? Yes, Mr. President, I met with Russians during the campaign when I was out there trying to help you get elected. These conversations are always better on the front end than afterward. And again, the Attorney General forgot about some of these contacts. So that's what led to the recusal.
Okay.
Is his bad memory.
Sir, thank you for your time, and I hope you can come back tomorrow. I'd really like to get your impressions. Trey Gowdy there on the Hill today from
Yes, sir.
Washington. Thank you, sir. Shannon.
Thank you.
We'll have